So I'm here with Paul, and we're just going to go through a little sequence of exercises that are common choices for us when we see someone with acute back pain. When there's that someone's thrown their back out and there's that really kind of grabbing pain. And the rules for these are just to go very small ranges, trying to find a range, even if it's tiny, that doesn't seem to exacerbate things. The other rule is that you're trying not to muscle through anything. So as much as possible, think of moving the bones to create motion, but not to use or flex the muscles to create a shape. Okay? Not every exercise works for everyone, but you're trying to find the one that is the easiest, or does it get easier with repetition. Okay? It doesn't matter if the range increases or not. It's if your body lets you do that. As you do this, try and send good messages that none of them are loads that would actually harm anything. So if your body's giving you that kind of contraction reaction, then trying to breathe through it, override it, let it know it's going to be okay. So one of the first things, Paul's going to start kneeling. Often quadruped is an easy position for the back. It's very unloaded for discs. So Paul's going to be in a nice neutral position, or wherever your spine likes to be. And he's just going to hang out and breathe there. One thing you can do is see if you can let the abdominals release a little bit in this position. Often there's a lot of clenching. So just simply being in this position and breathing. And then Paul's going to do little small rocks. He's just going to slightly rock back and then return over the hands. We're not looking for a stretch. We're just getting some motion in the hips, some softening through the hip flexors, and that sense of widening or splaying the sit bones as we go back. Also in this position, we can do small little, sort of the mini cat stretch, thinking of just letting the spine open up, or the vertebrae to fan open, really small the first time, and then letting gravity bring it back down. And again, letting it roll around, breathing into it, and returning. It's more about, again, letting the vertebrae move than it is hitting about hitting an end range stretch. Gently rounding and gently releasing. And do sort of 3 or 5. If it's not getting any tighter, then you don't have to increase the range, but keep going with it. You may find that after the first 5, it actually lets you do it a little more easily. So Paul's going to do 2 more here. And as long as he's breathing through it, that's great. One last time here. Rolling around. And then just letting the spine lengthen out again. Okay. Our other favorite one is side lying. We're going to go into the eel. We've chosen to do this with a ball. If you don't have a ball at home, you can use a foam roller. You can also use just a rolled up beach towel or something. You can also do this one lying down when you first wake up. So grab a pillow if you need it. I'm going to lie on the side with the ball between the knees. And it's exactly the same rules. We're trying to go for a mid-range, no matter how small. Now we're kind of coaxing the body into a little bit of motion. So the ribs stay steady, and Paul's just going to roll that top knee forward and back, allowing the pelvis to gently rotate and gently rotate. When you're doing this, you can check in with the sit bones. Imagine them widening or splaying, and that might allow a little bit more pure motion. Breathing through it, and if it feels fine to go a little bit further, then go ahead and bring it back. Breathing through it, you can think of one thigh sliding forward and almost imagining the other one drawing back, and then reversing it. And breathing through it, and you would want to do like a minute of this. Back. You could also pause in a center position and just do some arm movements. It's a good way to try and get the low back stability muscles going because they're going to counter rotation a little bit. Just breathing through it, stretching the arm up, and then you could always leave the arm up for one more set. And then let the arms stay up and the pelvis roll forward. So you start to get that separation of movement between the pelvis and rib cage that often vanishes when the back spasms a little bit. Okay? So try those 3. You may have a favorite. And try and stay within a range of comfort and with good messaging to your body.